Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Edward Joseph, and let's talk live. It's time for me to talk about a new case. All right, let's talk. Well, today, peoples, has been such an interesting day. I am here, I am live, and I am going to talk about some things, peoples. Peoples, it's time for me to talk about a new case. You guys come on in. You guys come on in. You guys come on in, for there's so much to talk about, peoples. You guys come on in. Peoples, it is time for me to talk about a new case. I said it's time for me to talk about a new case, and that is what I am going to be on, peoples, in the coming week. And so, right now, I am getting myself prepared to talk about a new case because there is some things that is going on that I really want to cover. I mean, so much is happening, peoples, and I am just going to take the time to go ahead and cover these things. And so, which is good. Now, I was going to come back and I was going to get on Andrew Holmes and really touch upon that, but then I decided that right now I'm just going to do some exploring right now on tonight. I want to do some exploring on tonight, and so I really didn't want to go back and cover Andrew Holmes just yet. I'll wait for that for tomorrow when I have a little bit more time. So right now on tonight, we're just going to explore peoples. We're just going to explore and see what's out there and see what is viable that we can be able to talk about. Because I mean, man, it's so much going on. The airways is hitting with so many things, peoples, and I'm kind of like, well, hey, I want to be a part of that too. And so, you know, I'm just going to take my time and I'm going to see what I really can do. What's really out there? What's something that I can bring to the table now since I got everybody's attention. And the channel is doing well, people. So I mean, a lot of people is coming in, a lot of people is looking at the videos and looking at everything that I'm doing, and people are getting a greater understanding as to the various things that I have been saying about the Kanika Jenkins case, and rightfully so, which is really good. And so, you know, I just want to go and try to do something a little different. And so while I'm here now, peoples, let's go ahead and let me see. I'm going to make sure that I have all of the things that I need to have. And so let me go back to my channel. Let me go back to my home page, to my channel and stuff. I'm doing good, peoples. I mean, hey, I want to show you guys something here. Now, I wasn't going to do this, but then I said, okay, well, no, let me go ahead and show this, peoples, because it ain't no shame in my game and things. And tell you the truth, I have literally learned from the past couple of months and stuff. And so what I literally did was I went through all of my videos and stuff, and I went and took out all of the copyright music and everything, and I've been doing pretty good. I have literally been doing pretty good, and I'm kind of like, okay, well, right here is the way to go. You know, this is the way to go. This is the way to do things. Now I know that whenever I talked about the Kanika Jenkins case, I never did try to go ahead and get monetized and whatnot. But because I am monetized, let me go ahead and let me show you a few things here, peoples. See, I've always liked to be transparent too and stuff. And so all of my channels is growing. This one is growing as well. And I had beat my threshold. As you can see, peoples, let me go ahead and enlarge the screen. So I'm at 878 subscribers, and I'm on my way to getting 1,000. I had 6+ subscribers in the last 28 days and stuff, and so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And so I say, okay, well, let me go ahead and let me switch up a little bit and stuff and start to do a little something different. And so I was looking over the thing, and so let me go to my earns. So now I'm already ready for my payout. They had sent me the thing. It says action required. I got to submit my tax forms and so on and so forth. So I've already did that. So I'm ready to get my payout and all because I have meet my threshold and whatnot. But I'm not really ready to just get paid just yet. I accomplished little goals and stuff. And so with the little goals that I accomplished, that's all well and good for me. So I'm not really ready to get paid yet, but I am here and I am getting paid for all of the videos now and stuff that I'm doing, which is really good. And so now, I've been checking out all of these different things, future milestones, continue to grow, unlock even more ways to earn, including options to ads on your videos and stuff. So I've been looking into that and all. As you guys can see, I'm at 887. I mean 878, almost to that $1,000. I'm a 1,000 subscriber threshold. And so, I just decide that, and then I am following the community guidelines. I got a check mark right there, which is saying that I'm doing good. So you notice that I've changed a lot of the things that I was saying and doing and whatnot. And then this is the introduction to earning more upon YouTube, understanding the basics, including different ways to monetize your revenue share and how to receive your first payment. Well, I've already looked into that. And then they have the thing to where shopping, connect your online store to your YouTube channel, connect a store to promote your products like merchandise on your channel. Well, I don't really have any merchandise that I want to go ahead and try to sell or anything. So that's not an option for me. But this is an option, and this is an option right here and stuff. So my only goal right now is to go ahead and get up to that 1,000 subscribers things. And I know the only way that I'm going to do that is that I got to bring more content to my channel. Now, as my channel is looking, and I'm very happy and stuff because it may seem insignificant to some people, but it's really significant to me because I'm looking at here tonight video, I got 68 viewers. And then on Andrew Y Us, I got 69 viewers. And then on Kanika, They're Not Like Us, I got 83 views. And then on Kanika, Happy Birthday to You, I got 112 views. But these were 6 months, 12 months out, and even 1 month out. The evidence is in your face. I got 63 views and stuff. So, but let's look at the current. So just 2 hours ago, I got 68 views from Andrew Holmes' Disgrace, 56 views from Lenora Lied About Kanika, Andrew Holmes Why Us, I got 69 views. What Happened to Kanika Jenkins edited version, I got 63 views. Cover Ups and Lie After Lie After Lie Part 2, 66 views. Stand on What You Believe, 31 views. Cover Up and Lie After Lie After Lie, 120 views. Calling All Past YouTubers, 35 views. What Happened to Kanika Jenkins, 149 views. Jaguar I Lie, 57 views. Edward Joseph Let's Laugh Live, 72 views. And If Security KD Kanika Then Who Carried Her, Part 2, 179 views. And so we're doing pretty good up on YouTube. And so my thing is simply this: if I can get over 50 views, that is an accomplishment for me. And so, as time goes by, the views is going up. And so I've been looking at the thumbnails, and then I've been looking to go ahead and create more interesting um pre-videos and stuff. So I'm going to spend a lot of time in doing that. And then I'm going to go ahead and talk about some cases. You know, I got the gift of gab and things. And when I get on a case, I like to do a deep dive in it and stuff. And that's what really brings the interest of the people. And so all of these videos now, I'm downloading them and then I'm going to go ahead and upload them onto TikTok and Instagram. And then I'm going to put in a link back here because, this is my base right here. I'm not trying to pay for no views or anything. I just want to do things the right way, the hard way. And however long it takes me to get to 1,000 subscribers, well, then that's what it's going to take me. Because I know some people pay for subscribers and pay for views and things like that. No, I'm a trooper. I'm going to do it the hard way. And I know there's a lot of people I'm not going to connect with because of the way that I am, my stance and the way that I talk and how I am and stuff, which is good. But there's always people out there that is unique like me and that loves a person like me that gets in here and dives in deep, hard, and heavy up on all of these cases. And that's what I do. And which is really good. And so, you know, I'm happy, people. And so sometimes you have to make adjustments in order to get the things that you need to get done. You know, and I'm really happy with speaking up on the things that I've been talking about and stuff. And so, you know, I'm going to start getting out a lot more shorts and stuff. And better yet, this is what I can do right now since I am thinking about it. Let me go on over to TikTok. Let me go over to TikTok and let me go ahead and sign in. And I can go ahead and let me put up that short up on TikTok. Yeah, that's what I can do right now. You know, upload a short to TikTok. Okay, two objects, SNS, that one and that one. Okay, beautiful. Signed in. There we go. Okay, so I see that my friend had went on live and stuff, but I couldn't come on because I had to go ahead and do my live and stuff. So let me look at my activity here on TikTok. Let's see what's going on here. So I like to do my lives and stuff. I mean, upload my shorts and stuff on TikTok on my phone. So let me go ahead and do this. I'm gonna upload this. I'm gonna upload this video. So let me go to my downloads. Now I'm gonna upload this video. Andrew, let me see which one I'm gonna do. Andrew Holmes, Why Us? Yeah, let me upload that. Andrew Holmes, Why Us? Upload this video. Okay, your video's over the 60-minute limit. See, I already knew that. Oh man. That's why I can't stand TikTok because they only give you an hour. All right, so since this is just, my time. So let me go ahead and let me just take the time tonight and let me just go and do what I do. I'm going to edit this video down. So I'm going to go ahead and bring all of these down and stuff. And so people's, I just love what I do. That's that. Hey, I just love what I do. That's all that I do. I just love it. So let me go ahead and I'm going to edit it in Pinnacle, and then I do my final touches in the other program. But I just love doing what I do and stuff. And it's just something about the Kanika Jenkins case that I just love. I love to talk about that case. I mean, that is it's so dear to me in things and stuff. And I know there's a lot of people that's still interested in it and stuff. And that's why I do it, because, you know, I have to follow my passion. And so I have learned people's, stay away from all of the drama, stay away from all of the mess, madness, and confusion. Stay away from the people who won't support you and things, and stay away from the people who's all the time critical about everything that you do. You know, if they participate, they participate. If they don't, well, then that's fine too. You just do what you do, and that's what I do, and I'm loving it, peoples. I love it. Now let me go up ahead and call up Power Director and stuff, because this is the video that I did earlier. Now I could go ahead and let me see. Let me open that up. Open up the project. Open up project. And then I'm gonna call that up. The lines that they tell about Kanika Jenkins. This is the little short that I did today. And see, this is what I did about Lenore. So this goes right into the thing, but it's okay. So I edit this in my Pinnacle studio. I edit this in my Pinnacle studio, and then I put the finishing touches in here, because sometimes it's just easy to work in my Pinnacle studio than I'm working here. But each of them, both, they have their purposes and things, which I do love and whatnot. So but I'm going to edit this video down. Since I've only got an hour, I'm going to edit it down, put the highlights on there and stuff, so then I could upload it to TikTok so the people can see. So let me go and let me add that video here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and touch up on the highlights and stuff. So since I got an hour of stuff, let me go ahead and I'm going to start off from the beginning. Help. No. This is not the one. This is not the one. Come on now. Man, tell you, this computer, boy, I ain't trying to start up no mess. So wait a minute. We finally know. Okay, so no, I don't want to. I thought that I upload the other video. So here, let me try again and put that in there. Andrew Holmes. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. Andrew Holmes. Why us? All right, cool. So I'm gonna edit this down real quick. Just do the highlights and stuff. Andrew Holmes, why us? Where's that? And they'll upload it to Instagram. Now, where is it at? Andrew Holmes, why us? Oh, there it is right there. It didn't have a thing. Okay, so I'm going to start off with this, merging that. Let me start off with my title. Joseph and Let's Talk Live. Andrew Holmes. Why us? All right, let's talk. Well, today, people, has been such an interesting day. I'm here, I am live, and I am going to talk about some things, peoples. Peoples, Andrew Holmes. Why us? You guys come on in. You guys come on in. You guys come on in, for there's so much to talk about, peoples. You guys come on in. Peoples, I am here and I am back. I am here and I am back, peoples. And I am here to talk about Andrew Holmes. Okay, so that's a good starter right there. So I'll splice it right there. And then let me see what else I'm going to add to. So I'm going to scroll through, see, let me put this up on mute because it's going to go, so I'm just going to mute the sound right quick. Where's my sound at? Where's my sound at? Where's my sound at? Okay, mute my sound right there. All right, so let me fast forward it a little bit. And I'm just going to spin through. Because I know I sit and I talk a lot and stuff before I actually go ahead and go through the video. So I just want to just go ahead and hit on some highlights and things, some visual, get some visuals in there, get some highlights and stuff and things. It's a 3-hour live, so I think I got a good enough where I can get a good hour content. Okay, let me go a little faster than that. So just want to hit on some highlights. That's all. Get some visuals in there and stuff and do what I do. Well, I want to hit some highlights on this one. And then I want to hit some highlights up on the video that I did tonight. And then on the videos that I did on the other night. So that's all I'm going to do. Just, get in so I have my visuals, hit my highlights and upload it and stuff. And then if they want to really watch the full video, after looking at the highlights, then, I'll send them a link to this channel and then they can come back and they can watch this. But it's all good. It's all good. That's what the people want. They want to see all of the highlights and stuff of what you're saying. And so that's what I'm gonna start doing, posting it up on TikTok and Instagram. I know TikTok has TikTok has an hour threshold, so I can get in all of my little visuals and stuff and be done with. Because 99.9% of the time I'm just talking. I talk first and then I start to go into my visuals and make my point. So here, let me do this. Instead of doing it like that, I'm gonna speed it up a little bit and just really just get into some of my visuals. Okay, probably hit them with a little bit of I got to hit them with a little bit of background up on Andrew Holmes and stuff. Then I'll merge into Kenneka Jenkins. Yeah, I'm going to hit them with a little bit of background right here. So let me give a little bit of Andrew Holmes right here because that's what I showed. So let me see. Let me turn on the sound and let me hear what I'm saying. Nope. Like this. All right, let's go. protector of the Kenneka Jenkins case, peoples. When people want to sit up here and see, I'd be all in my feelings and stuff, or I'd just be going off. Victim had to say in the case of Andrew Holmes, peoples. Let's go. Wait, okay, that's a good lead in. So let me go back a little bit. And so I will always be the protector of the Kenneka Jenkins case, peoples. When people want to sit up here and voice their opinions about Kenneka Jenkins, well, then you better come correct. Because see, if it doesn't pass the smell test, well, then Edward Joseph will be right there, and I will be up on you like white on rice, peoples. I said I will be up on you like white on rice. But peoples, let's sit back for a moment. Okay, here we go, about right there. But people's okay, so right there, I got a little time. So let me go ahead and splice it right there. Okay, I'm going to delete all of this right here. I hope I didn't. Okay, cool. So that's the intro right there. Now I'm leading into Andrew Holmes. Let's sit back for a moment and let's see what the victim had to say in the case of Andrew Holmes, peoples. All right, so cool. So let me go ahead and fast forward that because I just want some visuals in here. But I needed to get Andrew Holmes in before I can get Kenneka Jenkins in. So got some visuals. They're going to go ahead and talk about Andrew Holmes right here. Get a little bit that in. Touch upon Andrew real quick. And then I'm going to go into Kenneka because, you know, Kenneka was one of the part of the thing. Yeah, okay, so that's cool. Get a little bit of that in there. Got a little bit of that. She's explaining about what happened to her with Andrew Holmes. Get some of that good visuals in there and stuff, you know. All right, now I think the long pause is going to be okay. Yep, a long pause right here. So let's listen to this. We're going to go back to 1. Then we're going to take that long pause out and we're going to fade in. So let me turn up the volume. Oh, no, not in reverse. We want to go forward. Let's go.
Village Board, and police have only said their investigation is ongoing. Ben Bradley, WGN Investigates.
Okay, so we're going to cut it right there. We're going to move it forward a little bit. So what is our time right now? So we're at 5 minutes. So we got plenty of time. That's good. Working our way down. I just want the highlights. WGN Investigates, peoples. I said WGN Investigates. And so they had investigated Andrew Holmes, peoples. Now, see, that's the common theme, peoples. That is the common theme. I mean, you know, first to start off with allegations. And then from the allegations, you know, whether it's strong or not is whether you're going to be able to prove the case. But see, in this particular case, people, there's evidence because Mr. Andrew Holmes himself, Predator Holmes. Okay, so I'm gonna leave all of that good commentary in there and stuff. So I'm gonna see if I had some more visuals. Yep, I had some. Okay. So I'm gonna go back. So I'm gonna splice it right here because I had some more visuals. So let me. Okay, so that's a little few seconds. So splice that, take that little part out. Now come back here, and then I'm going to go all the way up to my visuals because I've been talking. So move it right along, all of that good stuff right there. Okay, let's see where we are. Venereal disease, peoples. He had to be rushed to the hospital because he was at Puffy's Flavor Camp. And I wonder what was on the menu. Sticks, pricks, and dicks. Oh, I wish I was in the land of Dixie. Hooray, hooray. In Dixieland, I'll take my stand. I'm crazy, and live and die in Dixie. Hooray, hooray. I've been in the land of Dixie. Or Prixie, or Stixie, or Trixie. Well, people, that just reminds me of what so crazy. Kenneka Jenkins and her mother had stated. Okay, that's good. Now I introduced that reminds me of what Kenneka Jenkins and her mother had stated, peoples. And so, can you do a split on a day? Let's hear from Kenneka Jenkins and her mother, peoples, because this is what they said. Okay, so I'm gonna cut it off right there. It's a little long pause. Move that. So play that. So I like to edit on the fly, play that. And I'm gonna merge all of this stuff together. So I'm about 17 minutes in. So that's good. Okay, so let me go back. There's a little pause right there, so get a little bit of time in. So we're going to take out that dead spot right there and then delete that. And then we're going to fast forward it right there and come on in. Can you do a split on the dick?
Can you do a split on a dick? Shit, how the hell you think you got here? Can you do a split on a dick? Shit, how the hell you think you got here?
Okay, so let's see. Cut it off right there.
Shit, how the hell you think you got here?
Right there, cut it off. Give it a little extra 2 seconds and then cut it. That's beautiful. Now let's listen to the ending part of that.
Shit, how the hell you think you got here?
Okay, beautiful. Okay. Can you do? Okay, now let me go back and a couple of seconds. Cut that little piece off right there. And then we're going to merge that together. All right, so we are almost at 20 minutes. So good. So let me go back to the beginning. And then let me go here. And I'm going to merge those two together. And I'm going to remove the gap. And then let me see how that flies in together. Holmes. But people's let's sit back for a moment. Okay, so I don't have to put a transition. Let's see what that was perfect in transition going in. And so that all goes in right there. So let's see right here.
ongoing. Ben Bradley, WGN investigates.
Okay, so now let's take it right here and see where we are. WG. Okay, so let me go right here and close the gap. And I'm going to add a transition right here. So let me go back there, add a transition. And so let's just do some falling crystals. Just bang it open, just like that. Okay, sent to timeline. Okay, we're going to increase that to 2 seconds. Okay. We're going to edit that. And we're going to give it 2 seconds right here. 0200 right there. All right, let's look at the transition, see how that fare.
On the Dalton Village Board, and police have only said their investigation is ongoing. Ben Bradley, WGN investigates.
WGN investigates. Beautiful. That's a perfect execution right there. Okay, so let me go to the next one right here and see how this ends. Because this is what they said. Okay, and let me go to the next one and see.
Can you do what, please?
Okay, so let me close the gap on that. And let me see how natural is that going to go. Because this is what they said.
Can you do what, please?
Okay, so now let me go ahead and add a transition to that. All right, so let's see, what can I do? I'm gonna let's see a little bit more. Yeah, let's do that one. Okay, we're gonna add that to the timeline. We're going to increase the transition. Let's increase it by 2 seconds. 0200. All right, now let's look at it and see how we fare. From Kanika Jenkins and her mother, Peoples, because this is what they said.
Can you do what, please? Shit, how the hell you can do that here? Can you do what, please? Shit, how the hell you can do that here?
Can you? Okay, now let's go to the next one and see. Can you do a... Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, so now let's go here. Okay, that's going to take me all the way down. And let's see. So, okay, yeah. So let's go back. And I'll merge that in a minute, but let me get this part in first. Because I got to... So now I'm at 17 minutes. Good. So that's good. So I'm doing good. Can you do a split on a dick? Shit. How in the hell you think you got here? Well, it seems like Diddy has been doing splits on the dick. Well, not the traditional way, but you know. It seems like Andrew Holmes has been doing splits. But he inserted his dick in the cookie of the young lady. And so Peoples, you know, These people are doing splits, and they are rubbing, sucking in, putting their dicks in the cookies. Who put their hands in the cookie jar? Not me. Yes, you. If it's not you, then who? Well, Andrew Holmes did it. And he did it without consent, peoples.
Despite assurances that Henyard and then Henyard's boyfriend would handle the situation, the lawsuit alleges the female.
Okay, so that's a nice little transition coming in itself. So let me get that little bit in there because that's visuals and stuff, and I'm still talking about Andrew Holmes. So now let me see. That's about to cut off. So
Received any response from Henyard or the village of Dalton. Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago.
now, okay, I'm gonna cut it off right there. Fox News, Chicago, beautiful. Cut right there. It's a natural break. Okay, move that. Okay, split that. Now let me see what I'm saying after that. Me to this point now, peoples. It takes me to where we are today. And so my question is, peoples, why did Andrew Holmes be a part of the Kanika Jenkins case? Okay, this is my lead into Kanika Jenkins, so I'm going to have to keep this, but let me cut some of this stuff down. To this point now, peoples. It takes me to where we are today. Okay, about right there. Okay, that's good lead in. So let me splice that a little bit. Then that's a nice little lead in to come into Kanika Jenkins. Okay, there it is right there. Bingo. Let's listen. And so my question is, peoples, why did Andrew Holmes be a part of the Kanika Jenkins case, peoples? Why Andrew Holmes? Why was Andrew Holmes called, peoples, in the Kanika Jenkins case? He was someone who had clearly stated that Kanika had walked herself into the kitchen and laid down and died. But see, the thing is, peoples, Andrew Holmes had sat around and lied. And so, peoples, let's listen to what this devious, devilish, and demonic man had said about Kanika Jenkins, peoples. Andrew Holmes, peoples. Okay, that's a natural cut right there. So we're going to cut it right there. Okay, so we're going to merge these two together real quick, close the gap, and we're going to go back and let's look at how that transition in. So let me, I know I'm going to have to put a transition in between because, but let's see.
Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago.
And so my question, yep, so let me get a nice little transition in between. All right, so a little something fanfare. Let's see, popular. What's popular? That's Fade to Black. That's popular. Okay, so let's see what's new. Okay, just a nice little fade in. All right, so let's try that. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, cool. Get in between there. And let's add 20200. Okay. Let's close that up. Now let's look at that. Let's see.
Flacco, Fox 32 Chicago.
And so my question is, people. That's beautiful. That was nice and quick. Now I could increase it. I don't think it's 2, but whatever it is, I think it's 1 still. And yeah, see 101.2. So 0200. Okay, let's increase it a little bit. Now let's take a look and see. I mean, that was good at 1, but you know, I always like 2.
Dane Flacco, Fox 32 Chicago.
And so my question is, people. Okay, so that works out very well. All right. So let's go here and let's listen to the end of that. This devious, devilish, and demonic man had said about. So I'm at 20 minutes. So I got 40 more minutes to go. Kanika, Jenkins, Peoples, Andrew Holmes, Peoples. So I got a lot of dead space right here. So that's good. It's going to take down some of that video. Okay, so cool. So I got some nice little visuals in here that transitions right from my commentary right into the visuals. So it's cool. So let me see. I could just not. I'm just going to go right in. I'm not going to just show all of that. I'm just going to go right in. So to the point to where as soon as that clears, then I'm going to just go right in. Bingo, right there. So splice it. Just take it right on in. Delete that. Come right there and just go right into him talking.
Did anybody pull her down there? Did anybody force her down there? Was anybody on the other side in the room with her when she got down there? And the answer to that is no.
Despite widespread speculation on social media that 19-year-old Kanika Jenkins.
Now notice how he kept saying down there.
Community activist Andrew Holmes says it's clear from
But-
video that she apparently walked into
But
a
they
freezer
were
in the
they
Crown
were
Plaza
up
Hotel
on the
basement
upper
on her
level,
own.
not down
Jenkins
there.
was at a birthday party
That's
on
where
the
he
ninth
lied
floor
at.
of the hotel. Video from the party shows partygoers using drugs and alcohol, and it has fueled social media gossip and led to large groups of protesters outside the hotel. Andrew Holmes, however, says police showed him the video with Jenkins' mother's blessing so he could help clear up any misconceptions.
From my view, no one else was back there down in that unsecured area.
Holmes says it's still unclear whether the Crown Plaza Hotel is at fault for anything, but hotel officials have now offered to show Jenkins' family all 36 hours of footage recorded from 40 security cameras on the night of her death.
We wanted to be respectful of the police investigation that's going on, as well as respectful of the family as they go through the grieving period. But we also wanted them to have access to the footage to view. I wanted them to have access to the footage to view.
Okay, and then we're going to cut it off right there. All right, so let's fast forward down. No, go back. Okay, we know they're cutting him up talking, so no, I came back in talking. Remember, the reporter had said that over 40 cameras. Okay, so let me go and start it right there. See, I'm glad that I naturally pause when I speak. Remember, because it just makes it easier for me to when I edit it. Bingo. So boom, right there. And it just happens, I naturally do that. So let me go here and let me merge these two together, close the gap, and then put a transition in between. Let's go with something a little fanfare. Just a little something, little fanfare. Da, da, da. Okay, so that'll be perfect right there. We're going to make that just chee. Okay, right there. Send to the timeline. And then adjust duration. 0200. Okay. Thought that I was going to do it that way, but let me move this. Now adjust duration on here. 0200. 0200. There we go. Now let's look at it and see. I think that's going to be nice. Peoples. Andrew Holmes. Peoples.
Did anybody pull?
Perfect. That was beautiful. Okay, perfect execution. All right, so now let's go ahead and fast forward. Now let's go ahead and go to the second one right here, and let's see what I'm seeing. Remember, the reporter had said that over 40 cameras in that establishment, and all we seen was just, 2 or 3 cameras of a supposed Kanika wandering into an establishment with 40 cameras, okay, and only caught a supposed Kanika walking the halls on a few cameras, and then into a freezer, to where the video footage abruptly shuts off at the point in time to when you saw the young lady walk herself back into a freezer. Now, peoples, all of the places that this young lady could have walked, and they have the audacity to sit here and play with my intelligence and to tell me that a young lady named Kanika Jenkins walked herself into a freezer and laid down and died. Now, peoples, I may not be the brightest person there is on earth, but I am smart, meticulous, and thoughtful. And I do understand, and I do have good, wholesome common sense. Now, some people don't have no sense at all. But see, the thing is, you cannot pull the wool over my eyes. 40 cameras, peoples, and only a handful, not even with 2 hands, but 1 hand, of a young lady they call Kanika Jenkins walking herself through the establishment, walked herself into an enclosed kitchen, walked herself into the freezer and laid down and died. Peoples, let me share with you right now, peoples, of what the attorney had stated, peoples. I didn't say this, he did. The attorney, Jeffrey Feiger, had stated, peoples, let me go ahead and let me share with you the live that I had did on Today Peoples, or the short that I put together on Today Peoples. Jeffrey Feiger, and this is what he had to say about Kanika Jenkins, peoples. Okay, so that was a natural. So that didn't take too much time, so I'm not going to just splice it up right there and just go in right there. Okay. So it goes right in. So I got 30 more minutes. So that's good. So I'm on track. I got some good juicies in there. Got my highlights in there.
Were involved in the tragic death of Kanika Jenkins on September the 9th, 2017. The facts and circumstances regarding Kanika's death are not entirely clear. That's primarily because there have been no adequate answers given for why or how Kanika was not identified or found wandering in the Crown Plaza Hotel on the early morning hours of September 9th.
Now listen to what he had said, peoples. Kanika Jenkins was not identified or found wandering the halls of that establishment. Okay, so that was good natural pause. Wandering the halls of that establishment. Okay, so I'm gonna have to cut it off right there. Okay, right there, cut it off. Cool. So splice it right there. Okay, so we're at 26 minutes. So let me go ahead and let's see. So there we go right there. And what is this right here? Can you do a split on a dick? Shit. Wow, I thought that I closed this up. So I guess I didn't. So what is the next one? Okay, so I didn't close that up. So let me close that up. Close the gap and let me see. Can you do a split on a dick? Okay, so I don't have to put a transition there because that's natural. All right, so let me go to that one. Okay, that's beautiful. Let me go to that one. That's beautiful. Okay, so now here is the part to where I just cut off. Okay, so now I have to bring that together. That one, and then this was the natural cut right here. And remember, okay, so let me go ahead and close the gap. Let me go back here. See, that's why I don't want to, while I'm editing, I don't want to go too far without closing the gap. So I'm going to add this as a little fanfare, and I'm going to move this over. I'm going to increase the transition on this here. Did 0200, 0200. Bingo. Now let's take a look at that and see.
As well as respectful of the family as they go through the grieving period, but we also wanted them to have access to the footage to view.
Remember, the reporter had said, okay, beautiful. Natural gap. Okay, right here. Now this is where I cut him off, and this is where all of that dead space right there. So let me see. Kanika Jenkins was not identified. Okay, so yeah, that's good. I definitely need that. So let me go back a little bit, and then let me trim that dead spot right there. Okay, that's beautiful. Natural, natural. So now I'm making my point right here. Kanika Jenkins was not identified, peoples, wandering the halls of that establishment. Out of 36 hours of video madness, they never ever showed, depicted, or even identified Kenneka Jenkins in that video footage. That's what the attorney said. That's what's in the case files, peoples. That is in the Mud Rock paperwork. Out of 36 hours of video madness, they clearly told you that Kenneka Jenkins was never depicted, was never shown, was never identified in the 36 hours of video madness. And so basically what Jeffrey Feiger just told you, people, is that out of that video surveillance madness that they gave to the people, Kenneka Jenkins never was in that video footage. So basically what he is saying, peoples, is that video footage that pertains to so-called Kenneka Jenkins walking herself in the freezer and laid down and died, that video footage that was supposedly captured Kenneka Jenkins walking the halls of that establishment was not Kenneka Jenkins. It was not Kenneka Jenkins, peoples. Let me say that again, peoples. It was not Kenneka Jenkins, peoples. It wasn't her. It wasn't her, peoples. And so for all of the people who believe that that was Kenneka Jenkins walking herself into that establishment, it wasn't her, peoples. Now, I can go back and I can show you the Mud Rock paperwork. I can go back and show you what the attorneys had written and said. It wasn't Kenneka. And so this was the reenactment that they did. That of what you're seeing played out was nothing but a reenactment, because the enactment had already taken place, peoples. I have already told you that. I have already shown you that many times over for many years, peoples. We have already talked about this on Last Night Live. You need to watch Last Night Live, peoples, because we literally tore it up. It was me, it was Little Bo Peep, and it was Certified World Media. We all had a conversation, peoples. And if you didn't watch that live, you're missing a treat. Because see, the thing is, peoples, now we finally got some understanding as to what happened to Kenneka Jenkins, peoples. Because as I have been stating all along, and as what Certified World Media has already shown you, everything continues to keep referencing and keeps going back to the establishment, to security. But see, the thing is, what had came out in that live on last night was very jarring. Because the thing is, I had challenged them, and I have clearly said, and it is undisputable proof, peoples. I've shown them the picture of the supposed Kenneka lying on a gurney. Let me show you the video, peoples. This is Moni Stacks, who was talking about Kenneka. And on the gurney, peoples, you will clearly see a person who they proclaim to be Kenneka Jenkins, peoples. And on that gurney, that face never changed. On this gurney, peoples, as you can see, these people that is depicted, well, not depicted, but that is actually showing in the video footage. These are just still clips. The face of that young lady, who you guys call Kenneka, was decomposed. How are you going to have a body of Kenneka Jenkins decomposed, and yet you have a body of Kenneka Jenkins in the freezer, fresh? And in a picture of Kenneka Jenkins lying on a gurney, supposedly at a funeral home, but yet you have a body of Kenneka Jenkins on a gurney in the kitchen, decomposed peoples. And see where I challenge Certified World Media and Little Bo Peep, I challenged him because I said that if they can take video footage from an instance of a family that was at the establishment and put them in where they never been on a different day, and then take the pictures and videos of a man who were tiptoeing around in the establishment looking, when the daughter of that man had clearly stated that my father was not there at the time to when the establishment proclaimed he was. Well, then why is it so hard to not think that they couldn't use video footage of a supposed Kanika inside the establishment on a different day? I surmise to you people many times over that Kanika never walked the halls of that establishment. Well, you heard Jeffrey Feiger and what he said. They never identified and they never established Kanika Jenkins ever walking the halls of that establishment. And it's in the case files, peoples. It's in the mud rock paperwork, peoples, that Kanika Jenkins never walked the halls of that establishment. And then I went and challenged him further because I said that Kanika was never at the establishment alive on the night. And that whatever taken place had taken place days before this reenactment, which they clearly told you it was. And so it's not far-fetched, peoples, for the kids to be at the establishment days before all of the stuff that we seeing played out on surveillance video footage has happened. Case in point, TM had told you, Kanika Jenkins, my daughter wasn't here on the 6th. Well, no, she meant my daughter wasn't here on the 9th because your daughter was there days before the 6th. And Teresa Martin said it herself, Janaea, I love you. Wait until I get rich and you're going to see how much I love you. And guess what, people? She's gotten rich. While her daughter is lying in a ditch. Sure enough. And see, peoples, if you watched the live on last night, I said, how could you sit here and say that all of this stuff happened on the night when the time doesn't align up with the video footage? See, the thing is, people, TM said it herself, that there was an employee that was in there with her daughter for 2 hours. Well, how could that be, people, when if you look at the timeline from the time to when the supposed Kanika came into the establishment at 1:13 and then came up missing at about 2-something, which Lenore stated herself that my sister came up missing about 2-something. I'm gonna show you that video, peoples. She made the live. She made the admission that her sister came up missing at about 2-something on the night. Well, how could that be? How could that be, peoples? And the thing is, peoples, how could all of this have happened within just hours, peoples? How? Well, I tell you, peoples, go watch the live on last night and then you'll have a treat, and then these questions would have been answered, because it ain't no way, peoples. And I tell you how it ain't no way, because I, Edward Joseph, has downloaded those pictures directly from the website of the Rosemont Public Safety Department. And those photos at that particular time, and I did a live up on this, had clearly shown that those pictures was taken on September the 7th, 2017, and not on September the 9th, peoples. The metadata doesn't lie, peoples. It doesn't lie. Do you understand what I'm saying? The metadata doesn't lie. Those pictures of Kenneka Jenkins inside a freezer was taken on September the 7th and not the 9th. So you can sit here, you can argue with me, you can fuss, you can feud, you can do whatever you want, but the pictures and videos don't lie, people. And here's the video right here of a decomposed person on that gurney. Now, if you say that that's Kenneka Jenkins, ain't no way that she is looking as fresh as she did when they took those pictures inside that freezer or on the gurney. Now, Moni Stacks had played this video. And if you look closely, peoples, and go back and look at the live one last night, and I'll explain all of this. That young lady on that gurney is decomposed. These people is in different positions, and that picture of that person on that gurney face has never changed. It is decomposed, peoples, which is telling you that if that's Kenneka, well, then she's decomposed. Now, if that's Kenneka in the freezer, and if that's Kenneka on the gurney, when TM said, "This is how my babe looked when I saw her at the funeral home," and if that's Kenneka in the casket at the funeral itself, well, then this person on the gurney could not be Kenneka Jenkins, people. She could not be Kenneka Jenkins, people. It is impossible, peoples. It is absolutely impossible, peoples. And so you can say what you will, but the proof is in the pudding. And then when you say, well, how could she be there on the 7th and not on the 9th? Well, just like how they had placed the family in the video and changed the timestamp and said that they were here at this certain time, then when the family had rebuked that madness and said, look, you're putting us in where we never been because we were there days before you are saying that we were there. And then the daughter of the man who they had inserted in to where he's never been on that particular day has chimed out and said, my father wasn't there at the time to when the establishment proclaimed. Now, see, people, that is two separate instances that the establishment effed around with the video surveillance footage. So when you want to argue with me and things, well, then my rebuttal is simply this. If the establishment had nothing to hide, well, then why are they switching up the video and putting people in where they never been? Why? Until you can give me a good enough answer to that question, well then, shh. You ain't got nothing to say. You ain't got nothing to say. Because I have been saying for years, people, that the establishment has put people in where they never been. And so all of this evidence is in your face, people, because if the establishment is on the up and up, there would be no reason whatsoever to edit the video footage, but they did. In those photos that I've shown you many times before on many lives, peoples, doesn't lie. It doesn't lie, peoples. And so if the photos don't lie, well, then who's lying? Because if that is Kenneka Jenkins on this gurney in the kitchen, peoples, well, then you got to help me to make it make sense. Why is it that she is decomposed on this gurney and she's looking fresh on every other picture? It doesn't make sense. Just like Lenore Harris keeps saying that my sister came to this establishment and she came up missing around 2 something. And she had even stated that the video footage was edited and that it doesn't make sense. So if you got the sister of Kenneka Jenkins telling you that it doesn't make sense, and you got Edward Joseph, who is just one who is a YouTuber that has been talking about this case forever and a day and telling you it doesn't make sense, well, then how in God's name can you sit here and tell me that of what you see is making perfect sense? How peoples? It doesn't make no sense. I mean, either you are blind as a bat or you don't have proof to the truth. And bingo, right there, that is a good, perfect. Oh man, I just went in and I merged into that. Okay, so since that's the visual, I'm gonna let that stand. Because I didn't know I merged into Money Stacks video. Hello, little Bo Peep. How are you, ma'am? It is a blessing to see you on tonight. Little Bo Peep says, hey, everyone. Lord, help me out the quicksand. Hope y'all are blessed. Okay, so I got 15 more minutes. People, so I got to have a grand finale here. Again and again and again. And I say to you, watch the live on last night because we tore it up on last night. And all of your questions will be answered. But peoples, let me go ahead and let me show you Money Stacks and what she had to say about the Kenneka Jenkins case, peoples. This is good, peoples, because now this is going to be a good. So if I can close this out less than an hour, let's go. Then that's going to be good because all of my commentary led up to this.
So the really infatuation with this camera also raises an alarm with me because if you check out the so-called corner and his little sidekick in the beanie hat, the little beanie buddy he got, you know, they're over there on some grimy stuff. They over there stealing stuff off that girl or putting stuff on her body and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We really hadn't made sense of what the hell he was trying to put in his jacket, first of all. But they looking up at these cameras, and this guy steps out of the screen, goes back and get the corner, and now they're both peeping up in here, but trying to see the corner guy. You see, he's trying not to put his head too far out, but you see him peeping up, checking out the camera. Then later, you got the police laughing and joking and shit around down there, like, what is so funny? And they point up at the cameras and stuff too. And on this particular camera, you have 19 hours of footage that is not being produced because the time that she's supposed to be and walked around that corner said like three something in the morning. It's like 3:30 or 3:30ish or something. And the timestamp from the guy that was in the upper right hand corner that walked out, that was like at 2,000 hours, which would have put that at like 8 something. Okay, so that is roughly 19 hours of footage that is not being produced.
And let me give you a little tidbit, peoples. Let me give you a little tidbit. She said it was about 8 something, right? Well, the pictures that was taken of the supposed Kenneka, the pictures that was taken of Kenneka that was in the metadata was around the 8 o'clock hour. So it was just in the time to when everything went blank. And so there is the aha moment right there, peoples. There's the aha moment right there. From the time to when the cameras go blank on Kenneka, then that was the time to when the cameras went blank up on this video. And so peoples, I'm going to go and I'm searching all of my videos from previously up until, because I have talked about the metadata and I have literally checked the metadata on Crown Plaza website at the time to when they had these pictures up. And the metadata doesn't lie, peoples. That's why I stayed 10 toes down and firm with Kanika never being at the establishment on the night. You can't prove to me that she was. And everything that I have shown you, even with the other pictures, peoples, clearly shows that these pictures did not go in sequence. Because if this is Kanika Jenkins on the gurney, well, then she was already decomposed, peoples. And if you go back and you watch the live that I did, Lord Footage had literally shown you the video unequivocally and undeniably unedited. And if you zoom in on the girl's face, you clearly see that she is decomposed because see the officers' actions, their behaviors give it away because they're looking at her like, wow. Because if a girl just died in a freezer, you're not going to be looking so hard at the face. But if a girl is on the gurney decomposed, yes, you're going to have some hard stares and glares. And that's exactly what they were doing, peoples. And so there you have it, peoples. So I got 15 more minutes. I hope I can be able to do a grand finale on this within 15 minutes. But let me see where I'm at, peoples. I got 15 more minutes. Let's go.
From this particular camera. So you telling me within 19 hours, nobody came through there? Y'all got a goddamn lie. And everybody can stop saying, well, the cameras only record when it's motion. That's a frog face ass lie because there's plenty of shots where that camera is recording, the time is rolling and everything. When the red boxes come up, that's when motion is being detected. So no, those red boxes won't be up throughout the whole thing, but that camera is constantly rolling. It don't start and stop when there's movement coming through there. It is on. The sensors start and stop when somebody come through there. So we got
right there, peoples. Right there. Right there, peoples. As you can see, you have the officer who they deputized as being a crime photoist. He doesn't have the credentials to be a crime scene photoist, peoples, a photographer. He doesn't have the credentials. And he even tells you in the case files that they deputized him as being the one who was taking the pictures. He took the pictures, peoples. He was the one who had took the pictures of Kanika Jenkins in that freezer, but he did not take the pictures on the night. He didn't take the pictures on the night, peoples. He took the pictures on the 7th, the time when Kanika actually died. Not on the 9th, on the 7th. And if you look at the pictures of the person on the gurney, that person is decomposed. You saw all of the different people that was walking around into that kitchen, and that body picture never changed, people. You can clearly see it. All you got to do is just zoom in upon it. The body is decomposed, peoples. You see the video. I mean, what they're gonna edit the video and they're going to put a different person all in a video. Come on, peoples, come on. Now I can see you doing a still shot, but you're going to edit a video. All of these still shots was from a working video, and you clearly see the young lady decomposed on that gurney. And when this man took those pictures, he took the pictures on the 7th, because the metadata from the pictures shows that the pictures was taken on the 7th. I did a live upon that. I'm going back in my history to look at the line that I did that clearly shows you the metadata. That clearly shows you that these pictures was taken on the 7th and not on the 9th. Okay, now see, I can stop it right here with just 10 minutes to spare, but I want to try to get as much in as I possibly can. I'm trying to shorten my videos and just only hit the highlights so I can upload it to TikTok and Instagram because they have a threshold of an hour worth of video footage. And so I just want to just start hitting my highlights and stuff. So I'm trimming my videos down to where I can hit the highlights. So I got about 11 more minutes and stuff. So, so far it's good. Everything that I was saying, all of the commentary and then all of the visuals and stuff, that was good. That was the highlight. I'm getting the information out there that I need to get out there. And so because they have a threshold of an hour, well, I'm just condensing down my lives to an hour and get my highlights in. And then I'm going to put a link to, if they want to see the full video, will then come to my YouTube channel and then watch the full version of it. But so far, the commentary and so far the visuals have kept you engaged. And see, that is a art, peoples. That is a skill set. That's an art to be able to keep the people engaged with the conversation and not have too many gaps and, all like that and stuff. You got to be able to keep the interest of the people. And that's what I'm good at, peoples. All right, peoples, let's listen into this. I got 11 more minutes. Let me see how am I going to close this out. Let's go. Now, Lobo Peep, what have you been doing, man? Because my Nightbot has been calling you out. Okay, so I'm gonna splice it right there because I don't need all of that extra right there. I want to keep it on the thing on the 9th. Okay, so I got a couple of seconds up there, so I'm gonna splice it right there. Move that over. Okay, so now let me go ahead and fan through this because I don't want to take away from what I'm saying with all this extra stuff that is happening. See, this is capital, so I got to make sure that I stay focused. All of the stuff that you're seeing was just a reenactment. Okay, so let me see. So let me go back a little bit. Yeah. That this was staged. Okay, let me go back a little bit more. Little Boy Peep said we were allegedly seeing two of. Okay, cool. So I can do it right there. So let me get a couple of seconds in. Let me splice it. That's a nice little thing. So let's see how much. Okay, so that's a good little gap to take out and stuff. So let me take that out. Now let me merge these points together. So let me go ahead and close the gap on that. Add a transition to that. All right, let's see how that's going to go. That establishment. Kanika Jenkins. Okay, so that's cool. So let me go ahead and put a transition right there. That was a nice little play on there. So let me see what I'm going to do, what I'm going to use. What am I going to use? That one? Let's see what that looks like. Okay, yeah, all right. That works. Okay, I like that. Separation time. Okay, so let's go ahead and edit that and then add 2 seconds to that. 0200 right there. Okay, let me do that again. 0200. Bingo. All right, there we go. So let's take a look at that and see what it's like. wandering the halls of that establishment. Kanika Jenkins. Beautiful. So that was perfect execution then. Okay, so now I closed that out. So now I got, let's see. All right, so that's a good lead in right there. So let's see. I got about 12 more minutes right here. Little Boy Peep said we were allegedly seeing 2 of 3 who was in there too. Well, see, and this is what I've been saying for the longest time. I mean, everything in that paperwork, they've been telling you that this was staged. They've been telling you. First, they tell you that she never walked the halls of that establishment. They told you that. They told you that out of the 36 hours of madness that you see, you never seen Kanika Jenkins in any of that video footage. That's what they told you. That is what they told you from Jump Street. And so from there, they literally has been telling you that, you know, all of this stuff that you're seeing was just a reenactment. So if we ever really seen Kanika Jenkins in any of that video footage, well then it really would literally oh boy, I don't know, Little Bo Peep. The Nightbot has something against you. I don't know. But like I said, people, you know, if we ever seen Kanika Jenkins on any of that video footage, but then that automatically clearly implicates and deems guilty the establishment. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if Kanika was ever really on any of that video footage, well then Teresa Martin had already won, period. By default, because you would have seen her on that video footage. You would have seen her on that video footage, peoples. So there you have it right there. So if Kanika was on any of that video footage, peoples, well then automatically TM would have won. But TM, you got to understand, had locked up the case for a reason. And why did she lock up the case for a reason? Because again, if nothing had happened, peoples, well then it'd be no reason for TM to lock up this case. Do you understand what I'm saying? It wouldn't be no reason for TM to lock up the case, so we don't understand or know what they had said in the court. But she did that for a reason because, one, she don't want you to know what was said or what was shown in court. Two, the establishments, hey, you know, go and show everything. They were with opening up the case and showing everybody, but TM says, no, I want the case to be closed. And I don't want no information to be exposed. Now, people's when cases is closed, normally people's it is public record. But TM had took the unusual step in having the case closed. She did that. So you can't blame the establishment for what TM had done. And she was successful in keeping the case closed. Because, man, I tell you, the public was going to be all over this in a major way. But TM, make sure that you will never see the light of day. Never see the light of day. But that's okay, peoples, because for all of you who say that we will never know the real truth to the proof, well, I think we are seeing the proof to the truth, the real proof to the truth. You know, I don't need to look at no court filings and stuff to understand what's going on. Because, like I said, watch the live on last night. The establishment purposely did all of this video editing for a reason, and that was to cover up the various things that they were doing in this case. Because again, if the establishment was so innocent, well, then there'd be no reason for them to go ahead and edit any of this video footage. Case in point. And then if TM was on the up and up, well, then it wouldn't be no reason for her, Lenore, or even the kids to be sitting here and lying about anything. Period. Nobody should ever have to lie. And nobody should ever have to go ahead and edit video footage. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if no hilarious or nefarious madness was going on, peoples, well, then it'd be no reason for them to edit the video footage, and there'd be no reason for them to lie. Is that all right, peoples? See, that's the thing, peoples, and this is what I try to get you guys to understand. The truth needs no help. It stands on its own. The truth needs no help, peoples. And so if you're telling the truth, you don't have to worry about anything and what anybody says, because it is the truth. And the truth needs no help. It stands on its own. But if you need to hide something, well, then you're going to lie about something. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the only time that you're going to lie is if you're going to hide something, people. Because if you're telling the truth, you can just stand 10 toes down like Edward Joseph is doing. Now, I'm just only showing you what I find, peoples. Now, you can deem it the proof and you can deem it the truth as much as you want to. But see, the thing is, the evidence stands on its own. I mean, I've shown you the different pictures of Kenneka. Now, I ask you to put it in chronological order and help me to make sense of it, people. Well, I mean, could you do? Well, see, after this, people, so I'm going to show you that video of that young lady, Gina Gill, because she has been clearly stating the very things I've been stating forever and a day. And she said it herself, that Kenneka Jenkins never walked the halls of that establishment. She never did. She never did. And so for the people to think that Kenneka walked those halls, well, then I could say, look at the proof and let the proof explain to you the truth, people. Because the girl who walked the hall certainly wasn't Kenneka. And this was the whole reason why the establishment had did what they did to cover up, because like I said before, not only Kenneka was the one who lost her life, there's many other people who lost their lives. And if you go in the history of how many people died at the Crown Plazas over the United States, you will be having a jaw drop, peoples. Because see, this is not the Crown Plaza's first rodeo. The establishment has been doing this stuff forever and a day, and they've been getting away with it. But they couldn't get away with it with Kenneka Jenkins, people. See, Kenneka Jenkins, when this happened to her, it did something to many people around the world. And many people are talking about it. And many people have different theories, have different narratives, you know, have different visions, have different ways of looking at this. And that's fine. Everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to beat down the people for what they say and things and stuff. I'm not going to do that, people. I'm just going to let the evidence, go ahead and speak for itself. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm going to let the evidence speak for itself. And so if you believe it, believe it. But if you don't, well, then, hey, it is what it is. But let's listen to Moni Sachs, peoples. Let's listen to Moni Sachs. and see what she had to say. Let's go. And that's a natural ending right there. And then I got about almost 2 minutes. So I'm going to stop it right there. I'm going to break it off. And then I'm going to put a title to it at the end. So let me put a transition right here. This may be a natural break. So let me see. Not on the 9th. Little Boy Peep said we were allegedly seeing 2 of 3 who was in there too. Okay, so that was a good natural break. So I'm not going to put a transition on there. Let me go down to the end and let me delete this right here. And let me fade out. So let me go back to this right here. And let me go to my popular and let me fade to black. And I don't need to put 2 because it's going to fade out to black. Listen to Moni Stacks Peoples. Let's listen to Moni Stacks and see what she had to say. Let's go. And it fades out. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna add 2 seconds so it can have a little bit more time to fade out. So let me add 2 seconds instead of 1, 0200, right there. Bingo. So I had accomplished what I need to accomplish. I got a lot of the juicies in. I got a lot of the highlights in and stuff. And now all I have to do is just go ahead and put an ending title to this. And so let me go ahead and process this. So let me export it. And then I'm going to import it to my Power Director. But I'm going to export it in this. And so I'm right under a minute. So the title ain't going to be no more than about 30 seconds. Okay, so let me do the same as timeline. All right, beautiful. Okay, and then what was the title of this? What was the title of this? Let me go back. Oh, Andrew Holmes, Why Us? Yeah, there it is right there. Cool, thank you. Andrew Holmes, R-E-W, Holmes, Why Us? To edit it. And so that means it's on TikTok. So, okay, I'm going to save it to downloads. Okay, Andrew Holmes edited it. The file name is invalid. What? Okay, so I think I'm going to have to take out the explanation marks and do it that way. Yep, that's what it did. Okay, YS edited. All right. That's going to process that, peoples, and that's good because it's only just like 1.29 gigabytes. It's going to go through, going to process real quick. I'm going to be able to upload it to TikTok, but I made my highlights on it. I made all of the points that I needed to make on it, which is really good. And then I'm going to direct the people at the end to come and watch the rest of the video on YouTube, my YouTube channel. You know, that's how you do it, people. So since I can't go live fully up on TikTok, I'm just going to upload the video, hit my highlights and stuff, and then direct them to my YouTube channel to where they can come and view all of my other videos and things, which is good. So, you know, that's the way that I'm doing it, people. So I have learned to go ahead and repurpose the video, splice it up, do my highlights on my videos and stuff, and post it up on the channels that has restrictions and things, you know. which TikTok has restrictions and stuff, because you only can post up an hour worth of video footage. Which is okay. We're going, I'm gonna upload this to Instagram as well, and so start reaching out to a lot more people who is interested in the Kenneka Jenkins case. But I'm going to be switching gears in a little bit, in about probably about this week. I'm gonna still talk about the Kenneka Jenkins case, and I'm gonna still get my highlights up there, repurpose my videos and post on all of the other channels and stuff. But I'm going to get into another case, and we're going to start focusing in upon another case. See, I can always fall back up on the Kenneka Jenkins case and things and really talk about that. But I really want to get into another case and really start talk about a different case, something that is touching, something that can resonate with all of the people. And so I've been brainstorming and things and stuff, and my colleagues and stuff, they came up with a couple of cases that I can talk about. While I am talking about the Kenneka Jenkins case, I'm doing a little bit more research upon the other cases that I'm going to bring to the table. And so we can really do a deep dive in and whatnot, which is really good. I'm learning people's. It took me a minute to kind of get out that little whatever and stuff, but I'm learning. I'm learning, to really focus upon the content. What I did was I went back and I erased all of the copyrighted songs, just the little excerpts and stuff that I use of copyrighted songs and stuff. And when I deleted all of that, my numbers went up on my monetization, and I got all of my videos is monetized now. So I'm making mad money on my videos, which is really good. But I haven't went and set up for my payout yet because I haven't submitted the final form. So I'm just letting all of that stuff accumulate and things and stuff because at the end of the day I can go ahead and submit the final form and go ahead and cash out. But I'm doing it though this way because I want to prove to myself, and I have some goals in mind. I'm not purchasing no subscriptions and no views and stuff like that. I'm doing everything natural. So if the people come in, they come in. If they don't, they don't. I still have to work a little harder to change up my platform a little bit to draw the people in. But I'm going to be me. I'm going to be as authentic and as true to myself and not switch up and try to be somebody just to draw the people in. No, I'm not going to do that. It took me this many years to get to where I am. And I'm proud of myself because, I'm getting there. And so I'm fit to start drawing more people to my channel. And, start making my shorts and things because I have the gift of gab and the people love me. They love to hear me really talk about this case and exegesis about this case. So I said, well, let me get it out there. Let me get it out there and let me focus upon highlights instead of just trying to upload a full video and then throwing some visuals and stuff along with my narrative. And that's going to draw the people in from a different platform. Now, since I've been streaming on Rumble, I have been getting rave reviews on there. You know, Rumble is just like YouTube platform, and they've been loving my content. YouTube is just a different beast. You know, we got too many old people here that understand the beef that was going on between me and other content creators and things. And so, you know, YouTube is just a different beast. So I have to bring some fresh eyes into here. And I've already set up shop on YouTube. You know, I'm not leaving. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to really capitalize upon this. As you can see, I'm only streaming on my main channel. I'm not streaming on all of my other backup channels and stuff because I'm doing a little bit of change in things, and I'm doing something a little different. So I'm going to reserve my other channels for, you know, when I talk about some things. But right now, this was just only just to edit down this video and upload it to TikTok. Which is okay. So there it is. It's finished. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it into my it's in my downloads. Okay, so let me save this as. Okay, so let me save this as. If I didn't already save it, let me save it now. Save movie as Andrew Holmes. Why us? Edit it. Okay, let me save it there into my studio projects. Got that saved. Beautiful. So now I can close that up. Now let me go into my Power Director. And the only reason why I use Power Director and stuff because they have good titles and stuff that you can do. So let me go ahead and import that video that I just did. Andrew Holmes, why us? Edit it. So all I have to do is just put a title at the end of it. That's it. Okay, just put it in the same ratio. So let me go ahead and do that. And I see this is why I love Pinnacle so much because see, Power Director, I have to manually go through the video and go all the way to the end.
Hello.
Oh, okay. Let me turn on the sound. So I have to manually go to the video and go to the end and stuff. But with Pinnacle, it gives me an option to where I can choose, and it just jumps to the different segment that I literally need to cut off. So let me make a little title because I love their little titles and stuff. So let me choose a little fancy title and things and see. Let me see, do a popular one. Let me see here. Let me see here. So all we need is just a little title. So they already had the pre-done titles and stuff. And let's see here. Okay, I kind of like that. Let me see. Check out something else here. Okay, I used this one before. I like this one. So let me take out the gap and let me just add a little bit of saying right here. Before I do that, let me go to my channel. So let me go here. I'm going to hold on to Engine Homes. Let me go here to my channel. Let me copy my handle. No. Let me go and do this. Go to YouTube Studio. Let me go to my settings and let me copy my handle that way. General, channel, advanced features, feature eligibility. Okay, I did that. Let me see. Join this channel. Yeah, here it is right here. Okay. All right. So let me close that up. Let me go back to here. And then let me paste it right there. Or paste it right here. Okay, let me see what that looked like. Okay, I'm gonna have to copy that. Now I've only got so let me copy that. Let me extend that. So and paste that right there so I can extend it. All right, so let me see. Okay, so it's going to repeat again. So that's cool. So they can't do the first time to catch the second time. So now let me go on my next. Let me go on my next one and say to join the. I may put this down, but I think that that's where it belongs. And let me put something down that says. Okay, let me do it like that. And then let me go in. Let me copy my handle off my channel right here. Let me go back here, my channel, and then let me copy that handle there. So either way, that'll direct them to my channel. Okay, so let me see here how that's going to look. That's all bunched up and stuff, but I didn't want to go to the beginning. I want to go to the end. Now let's play it at the end. Okay, so take me to the end right here. That's why I want to start it off at. Okay, So I'm going to have to move this. And let's see. Let's move that up. Okay, now let's look at that and see. Oh, that moved it out the way. Wait, but why did that delete that right there? Okay, that should have came in at the same time as that. Okay, let's take a look and see. Okay, so no, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. So, let me see here. I know what I want to do, but I'm not doing it the way that I wanted to do it and stuff. So, let's bring you back. And I don't want to shrink you too much, but dang, it ain't much that I can. Okay. So let's do it like that. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, that's not bad. So now let me see. Let me copy this. And then let me paste it right here. So that'd be a double. Nope, nope, nope. I don't want to override it. Put it down here. So I'll paste it. Paste and insert. Yep. And then right there. Okay, cool. So now let me go back here and let me look at it on the big screen and play. All right, play it. Not from the beginning. Take me all the way down and then take me down here. Now it should fade out. And it's not taking me to that. Why is it not taking me to that? Because you should supposed to play right here. So play this part right here. Okay, let's look at that. Copy the link, not like. Okay, I like that. Okay, copy the link, not like. This thing. See, this is why I edit it in my other software, because this right here, it just keeps copy the link like NK. To join the live. Oh, no, to join the live. Okay. Copy the link, LINK. All right, there we go. And come watch on YouTube at, yep. Okay, so I changed it in that and then copy the link, LINK. Come watch it at work. All right, so now let's look at that and see. And I can put my picture up there. That would be helpful. I like that. I like the ending title and stuff. So should I put my picture up there? I think I should put my picture of my my channel. I just copy that right there. Oh no, let me see. Yeah. Let me put my picture up there. So let me take a screenshot of that right there. Where is the snip? Get the little snip. Okay. And then we'll do it just like that. Okay, let's try it again. Let's try it a little lower. Okay, and let's do it like that. Yep. Copy that and save that as Edward Joseph. And then we're going to put that in downloads. Call that Edward Joseph. Title. Just put in as a title. Okay. Downloads. Bingo. That's good. So now let's go back to here and let's put that on a third one. And we're going to put that in the backdrop. So let's come back here. Media. Import a file. Let's go to downloads. Edward Joseph title right there. Bingo. Now we're going to add that to the ending part. That may just be too much, but I just wanted to check it out and see. I like it just the way that it is, but you know, when you're doing this stuff, you kind of want to just go a little overboard. Okay, so now let's go back down here and see what that looks like. All right, take me there. Okay, so I'm going, nope. Yeah, that's not going to work. Because I got it in 6x9, so I would have to really just kind of like put my thing. See, that's going to cover that. So, but if I put that on top and bring that down, and then bring that on top like such. Now let's see what it looks like. Still is not going to. Well, no. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do it just like this. Okay. I'm gonna bring that back to where it was. And then I still got some time, so I'm gonna bring this all the way down to the end. So I still got some time, so I'm gonna add it right there. So once that finished, then that'll come in. And then that'll be the finisher right there. Beautiful. Okay, I like that. So now let me make sure everything is kosher. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Yeah, okay, I like that. Okay, cool. I like that. All right, so that's what it is. So now let me go process that and things. Stop. All right, export it. Then we're going to keep it, and then we're going to name it Andrew Holmes. Why us? Now I'm wondering if that's going to let me keep it like that. Okay, so keep the profile settings the same and stuff. That's cool. It's in downloads, and then but it allows you permission to select the location, different location, and then check it. Since does not allow you to select this location, select a different location. Well, why are you like us edit it? Okay, export it to there. What? Okay, so let me take off that, and then let me export it to that. The file name already exists. No. Okay, so edit it on what is this? Power Director. Edit it. Power Director. All right. Save it right there. Cool. So now that's going to edit it down. And then I'm going to be able to upload it to TikTok. And then once I upload TikTok, peoples, I am shutting down this live because I have already did what I needed to do. But I wanted to just play it back real quick. So this is going to, this shouldn't take too long to process because it's just a short little video. It's just only about less than an hour. So. But see, I love to do my editing in Pinnacle because it's easy and faster because I can go to the end of the clip real quick. Power Director, you can do it, but I haven't learned that technique yet. I just learned how to nudge the video. Now, once I splice it, then I want to be able to go right straight to the end of the next video and stuff, but I have to do it in segments just like I did this. But I got to be very careful that I join the videos together and put my transitions in between whatever I'm going to do. I can't edit a couple of segments and stuff and then try to go back and piece everything together. I got to do it as I go. But as in Pinnacle, I can do it at any given point in time because it gives me the option of going right straight to the cut that I had made. But this, it doesn't let me do it. Every time I take it off of pause and put it on stop, then it takes me right back to the beginning, which that is just very irritating. So I have to keep everything on pause and then make my splice and then join the video together with a transition or whatever I'm going to do. But it has to be a way of doing that, people's, but I just haven't learned it yet. So I really haven't got into this program and really learned, the ins and outs of it and stuff. It's a powerful program. It really is. And I see other people, learn the technique of how to edit on it. I just haven't taken the time to do it. And so, but I'm getting in here and I'm going to learn it. I just procrastinate when it comes down to editing these videos because, see, editing videos and stuff, even for the simplest little thing, it just takes time. And I don't have the time because I just want to just rush through it. See, back in the day when I didn't have to go so far to work and things, I had plenty of time. So I was at home and, I had time to edit, and however long it took, that's what I did. But now, I got to take a damn near hour and a half drive just to get to work. So I won't be having the time. And I should be in the bed right now, but I want to make sure that I upload this to TikTok before I do anything. So yeah. So I'm gonna get in here. I'm just gonna have to make some time. My settlement should be finished by next month, so I'll get all of that money, and I'm moving from here and moving to a different place. And so moving closer, so that's going to yield me a lot more money because I'll be closer. So I ain't got to spend money in gas and bridge toll. So I'll be closer to work. And then, all of the extra time that it would take me to get to work and things, I'll be at home and can be able to do that. So that'll be cool. And without having to spend all of the extra time and trying to go to work, then I'll be at home and yeah, I can be able to spend more time on editing these videos and things. But I just have to just get myself in the mode of just editing. It doesn't take me long. Once I really just start to focus, but I just don't be focused, people. I just be like, yeah, okay, whatever. Because I've been doing it for so long. I'm just not. My heart is not in it like that. My heart is just into just getting on live and just talking, not sitting back and editing. But to be successful, peoples, I have to get in here and splice up these videos and push it out there. And so I'm happy that that little short that I did up on Lenore, I went and did my little research. I remember the videos that she had spoke upon and stuff, and I gathered it together. And so I edited it down and, I just put it together. And it was really nice and it came out beautiful. So I didn't really have to do too much of nothing because a lot of the work was already done for me. All I had to do is just splice it up and put it in chronological order in the manner to which I wanted to be visualized and things. And then I played it. And see, those are my highlight videos that I'm going to do more of and things because, again, as you can see, Lenore, she lied out of her teeth because first she said that Kanika came up missing at around the 2 o'clock something hour. And then she changed it into the 3 o'clock something hour. But I started up with the 3 o'clock something hour first. And then I went down to the 2 o'clock something hour. I could have put it in reverse, but I wanted it like that in things because I wanted you guys to see the latest hour first and how she lied. So depending upon what news people that she was talking to, then she get that narrative. And then, she basically said the same thing. So, that doesn't make no sense or whatever she was saying, help me to make that make sense, or that doesn't make no sense or something. But she just repeated the same madness that she had said, but she only just changed the time. And so my question is, Lenore, why did you change the time? Well, she changed the time because they got with the Crown Plaza and, they all agreed that, okay, well, you got a case up against us, but we don't want all of this information to be out. We don't want what really happened to Kanika, because if that ever gets out, well, then, we're screwed. And then TM, she blocked it up because she wanted to keep Kanika's integrity intact. She didn't want the people to look at her daughter in any such a way and things. I mean, it was already bad enough for her to make a live and say, can you do a split on a dick? How in the hell you think you got here? Huh? But to come in to have Kanika's legacy, our integrity tarnished by some of the things that had taken place down at the Crown Plaza, well, then I'm telling you, people, there was a reason why TM did that, and she did that. And a lot of people, they come with these hilarious and nefarious narratives and things, but Kanika wasn't no saint. To be honest with you, she wasn't no saint, but the people projected her as being such, but she wasn't no saint. But she was still loved, and I don't want the people to take away from that. She was loved, and we love her regardless of whatever she may have done in this life at the time to when she was living. We're never going to stop talking about this case. Never going to stop talking about this case. I mean, the people are going to talk about it and talk about it. There's going to be a fresh new group that's going to come in and talk about it. And, and so for all of you who's tired of talking about it or tired of listening to it, hey, you ain't got to tune in. This is not for you. This is for the people who's coming in, the new people that's coming in and haven't even heard about the case. Because I'm not to the degree to what everybody had heard about this case. Everybody haven't heard about this case. You know, just like I haven't heard about a lot of the cases that's going on now. And that's why I'm here to try to look into some new cases that I can talk about. So not everybody know about the case. But I'm going to get it out there, and I'm going to continue to keep pushing. Okay, so let's open that up. There it is right there. Beautiful. So let's close this up, and let's save this as and let's save it in the downloads. Andrew Holmes. Okay, we're going to save it like that and save it like that. Oh, no. Okay, so it's already saved. So never mind. Cancel that. Goodbye. Yes, I did. Okay, so then what are you talking about? Andrew Holmes, Power Director. Yep. Save it. Yes, I do want to overwrite it. Save it. Replace it. Thank you. Okay. There it is, people. So let me close that up. Now, let me upload that to TikTok right there. There it is. Where's TikTok? That's what we're wanting to do. Select the video. Okay. And let me go and select that. Boom, right there. Okay, let me put a cover on it. You can choose a cover after video processing is complete. So ain't no telling how long this may go. Okay. At EDWAR Edward Joseph. At Edward Joseph. No. At friends, at followers. Okay, at friends. At followers. No, friends. At friends. At friends. At followers. Okay. And then let me go ahead to my channel. Let me go to my channel. Go here. Let me go here. Okay. Let me go here. Let me go back to my channel, YouTube channel, and then let me put down a link there. So let me go to my settings. Let me go to my channel. Okay. Where's the... Okay, so dashboard, content. Nope, that's not that dashboard. How do I get to my channel thing? How do I get to the thing that I did? Okay, community. And then the person, Caroline Baby, I love the way you speak the truth. YouTube content creators, Sturjob was there taking pictures of her demise. He was paid to create narratives, support lies. Look into this Joker. Okay. I will. Thank you so much for the INFORMAT. Thank you so much for the information. I'm going to have to start replying to the people. All right. I'm glad that the people is coming in and, all right. So now that's not what I wanted to do. So let me go back in general. How did I get to that place to where I was copying my manager YouTube account? Okay, I don't want to go there. I want to go upload. Oh, there it is right there. Okay, that's what I wanted to copy right here. Cool. So I got to remember that. So general settings, upload. All right. Let me go back to TikTok. And then let me go here and put that down right there. Cool. So it's uploaded. So it's processing. So I can't do the cover yet until it finished processing. So it ain't no long how long that's going to take. Andrew Holmes, why us? Okay, so I'm gonna delete this right here. Why us? And then I'm just gonna put boom, boom, boom. No. Why us? Dun dun dun. Dun. Okay, that's the description. And that's the title of it. So I'm not gonna worry about that. But that's the description, and I just called out all of the people on a hashtag and stuff. So it's processing. Okay. Post it now. Video can be for everyone. Run the copyright check. Okay, that should be all good. That uses comments and all like that and stuff. Okay, run check. And then as soon as it finished processing, I'm going to put a cover to that. And then it's going to be on TikTok. So it's already uploaded. It's just processing. So I don't know how long that's going to take, but I'm not going to sit here and wait for that forever and a day. So, I mean, once it finished processing and things, then I'm just going to copy a title to that. I mean, the thumbnail cover. I hope the one that I've already made for YouTube will work for this. Or, I can just copy a PDF to it because I put it in 3 different formats. Okay, so San Francisco, all right, Bay Area location. All right. And it'll take about a minute. It's only take a minute. Okay. It's processing. Oh my God. How long are you going to be? I'm tired. How long are you going to be? I am tired. So I should give a good, wholesome description to my lives and stuff, but, I'm just being lazy. I think that would be good to, give a good, wholesome description and tell the people what they're watching and things. But I mean, just by the thumbnail itself, that I think that will suffice. But next one I'll do, I'll go ahead and put a description and a real good, wholesome description. And then I'll highlight all of these. So no, I don't need the Andrew Holmes Why Us thing because this is this description. So I don't need to put that right there because it's already in the title. So I'm just going to put that. Because I already got a title to it. So Dun, 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 dun. All right, so it's uploaded. Okay, come on, come on, come on. What you gonna do? Okay, that's cool. That's cool. How long is it going to process, peoples? Usually it doesn't take that long, but you know, like I said, it's been a minute since I processed. I mean, since I uploaded anything to TikTok. Now, let me go ahead and click that. I can't do anything yet until it's finished processing. All right, peoples. Well, there it is. As you can see, you know, I went from start to finish. I had condensed down the live that I did on the other night and stuff. I edited down. I just got the highlights and stuff. I added the title at the end and whatnot. I've been a little bit lazy. I could have did a little better job on that, but you know, I'm tired. So, but at least I got it done. At least I got it edited down, and at least it's processing up on TikTok. So once that's finished, I'm gonna wake up in a little bit and see if it's finished. If it's finished, then I'm going to put a thumbnail to that, and then I am going to post it, and then all of the people can see the video. And it's going to be wonderful because I did all of my highlights and stuff on it. So then I got the thing down, the link to where the people could come and follow me up on my YouTube channel. So there you have it, peoples. You know, there you have it. And so I'm going to be doing more of these, and I'm going to be pushing it on up on TikTok and on Instagram. Like I say, I'm on Rumble, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on YouTube. But I'm going to be bringing you a lot more content on other cases, not just only on the Kenneka Jenkins case, but I'm going to start merging into other cases that I'm just going to sit and talk about and stuff, and just bring some awareness and stuff. Bring some newness to my channel. You know, which my channel is known for, the Kenneka Jenkins case, and a lot of people love to watch it. But I want to bring some newness to my channel, to bring something new and different, and sit and talk about it. Well, peoples, I greatly appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. For all of you who's hanging with me so far right now, thank you, Mello, for coming on in, my brother. You know, it's always good to see you. And then, peoples, that's it. That's all that I have. I'm going to let this thing do its thing and process and get uploaded to TikTok. And I make sure that there's no cursing, no, you know, derogatory stuff in there and things and whatnot. So that way my videos won't get flagged or anything. And, you know, I'll go on and draw a lot more people to my channel. All right, people, so that's it. That's all that I have. I have accomplished what I needed to accomplish on tonight, and I'm happy. I'm going to be continue to keep doing things like this, to post up my highlights up on TikTok and Instagram, draw in some new people, get some new crowd in, and then hopefully can spark some new conversations with some people and things, and then start focusing up on some new cases and all. But you got to put in the work if you want to get the people in, you know, and that's the way to go, people. That's what you have to do. It's just, you know, stay on top of it and get it done. So, peoples, I hope I had said something to encourage your hearts upon tonight. Tune in again next time to when Edward Joseph Let's Talk Live, Edward Joseph Kitchen, Edward Joseph Gospel Hour, Edward Joseph's Blessings Giveaway 2025 will come to you with something wonderful. I love you with the love of Christ, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Peoples, mask up and be safe. And again, peoples, thank you, Jesus, for giving me the wherewithal to really get in here and kind of like do some things. There's a lot more that I need to learn upon these platforms and stuff. This is just the basics, but you know, The more that I read up on it, the more that I do it, the better I get at it. But I'm not so much concerned about doing all of this extra graphics and stuff because just me and just me breaking this case down in the manner to which I do, it draws the people in because they'll sit and talk and they'll sit and look for the duration. And if they want more, come to my YouTube channel and watch out all of these good, wonderful lives that I've been doing. That's all I do, peoples, is just take the cases and break it down in a manner to which I know how to do and just give my narrative to the way that I see it. Is that all right, peoples? And so obviously it must be something about Edward Joseph because you guys all the time come and you guys all the time support me and you guys all the time watch me. And I'm greatly appreciative of that because that lets me know that you guys love Edward Joseph and you love his channel. And by you being here, you know, it speaks volumes because it's so many content creators out there that you can give your time and effort to. But you chose to be here with Edward Joseph. And for that, peoples, I'm grateful. And so with that, peoples, that's it. That's all that I have. I am going to turn this live down. I'm going to let this continue to keep processing. I'm going to come back. And once it says, give me the green light, I'm going to go ahead and put a thumbnail on there. And then I'm just going to sit back and watch what happens. That's it. That's all, peoples. So until then, peoples, be blessed, get your rest, and if the Lord says the same, I'll see you guys soon. God bless you all. Thank you for watching.